Hi, this is Ben Brumfield with From the Page, here to talk about a new feature that we just released last week. So From the Page lets you transcribe documents like letters, like this, and also forms, like this marriage certificate, transcribed into a set of pre-populated or pre-set up fields. But we've gotten a lot of questions over the years with people asking what to do about documents that are lists or ledgers, like this Coast Guard muster roll from World War II, or this tax list from 1850, or this list of county office holders from the early 20th century. So these are very different types of documents. They require a transcription interface that supports multiple records on the same page. So thanks to funding by the Council of State Archivists, the most recent release of From the Page supports transcribing these letters and lists. We now embed a spreadsheet in the transcription screen for projects that are configured appropriately. We support header and footer fields. In this case, Nassau County is the header of the entire page. Then transcribers can use a spreadsheet to transcribe the data on the ledger. So let's go ahead and transcribe one of these lines. So name of officer and office are both text fields, so I'm just typing whatever I see. Address is standardized, however. So this project is configured address as a controlled vocabulary. I can type B, and then if I hit tab or return, the controlled vocabulary of Bryceville is automatically filled in for me. Term of office is numeric, and while the actual value is 4 here, what happens if I had a typo and accidentally hit E right under the 4 key? In that case, for a numeric field, we will highlight the cell in red to call the transcriber's attention to this field to say, hey, this doesn't match what we were expecting. Now, this can still be saved as E because there are a lot of cases in which original documents are written using terms or using forms that don't match modern expectations. I'm going to go back and change this back to 4 again, however. Add interim as a checkbox, true or false. Then let's skip a column over to date of commission. So this is configured as an EDTF date field. You can see the little pop-up text here. EDTF is a standard of 4-digit year, followed by a 2-digit month, followed by a 2-digit day with hyphens between them. It's a format common among people doing data entry in spreadsheets, but it may not be appropriate for your project or your users, so you might consider breaking dates into 3 separate fields instead. So I'm going to type this as 1909-01-05. The volume is C6. The page number is 225. And the remarks are deceased. So after I'm done with this row, I can keep going or I can save my work. And we've introduced a distinction between a save button and a done button. Save lets me save an incomplete page, whereas if I've finished the page, I can mark it as completed, so someone else can come in and review it then if they want to, but we know that it's not an in-progress work. So I'm going to hit save because this is definitely in progress. So now, having done that, we have a table populated by the data that we put into the spreadsheet. So how do you set up a project for spreadsheet transcription? If you go into your settings tab of your collection and scroll down under transcription type, you can change the transcription type from document-based transcription to field-based transcription, because in our terms, a spreadsheet is just one other kind of field. Once you've done that, you go to the field configuration screen. Just like before, you can add regular fields like the county in the header or things in the footer. In between, at any point, there's a new type of field, spreadsheet. If you add a line, a field of spreadsheet, and you save it, then you have this configure spreadsheet window. So configuring the spreadsheet gives you a very similar screen to the one we just saw, only this time we're configuring the columns that'll be part of this embedded spreadsheet. So the columns can be text, as we saw for most of them. They could be numeric or checkboxes or dates that all have this validation, or they can be select lists like this one. That gives you the opportunity to provide a controlled vocabulary, which will be filled in for transcribers. You can also see a preview of what the spreadsheet will look like once you save the configuration. And then this is also where you can configure the screen ruler. We know these documents generally have 28 lines, so we want to start a spreadsheet that's presented to the users starting with 28 rows. Users can always add rows to a spreadsheet. As we know, many original documents have lines inserted, but this at least gives us a place to start so that the original spreadsheet should match the expectation of the page the transcriber sees. To use the screen ruler, you also need to define the page layout. So if I click Identify Rows here, that'll present me with an image of the page and a box that lets me select the portion of the page that the spreadsheet is on. So if I select the lines that are actually the portion of the page that have the spreadsheet, not the header or anything like that, the margins, and click OK, and save my selection, then we're ready to go. So how do you get the data back out again? If a spreadsheet works for data entry, we also probably want a spreadsheet for exporting the data. You can go to the export screen for your project, and you can see for a given work, the table CSV export, or you can go to export all works, the zip file export, and scroll down and see table or field CSV. That'll generate either one spreadsheet per work in your collection or one spreadsheet combining all the works in the collection. So this would be all of the data all at once. What you get out the other end is a spreadsheet that looks a bit like this. So the first columns are automatically added by the system. There's an identifier for the work and the page that the table was transcribed in, and there's a row for each row in the transcribed spreadsheets. You can see columns that we added containing office holder names or offices. These are all the cells that I typed in transcribing the spreadsheet. And then any header or footer fields are promulgated onto the spreadsheet rows for the pages they appeared on. So this concludes our presentation of the Spreadsheet Transcription feature in FromThePage. We'd like to again extend our thanks to the Council of State Archivists for their support of this feature. Let us know if you have any questions, and best of luck.